Hello, everybody. How's it going out there? Dave with Night Politics and Religion. Hope everyone's having a good day, a good week, and most importantly, having a good life. And wow, what a really, really bad weekend for the Biden administration. Really, really bad weekend. You probably heard reports by now about Afghanistan and how the Taliban has taken Kabul and how we're trying to get our non-military personnel there. And the president's fled, and how that we're sending like 5,000 troops in, try to get our stuff out and get everything we need out and things like that. And he is being hit by everybody by this. Of course, Republicans are obviously going to be critical of it because he's a Democrat and that's a partisan thing. But you have CNN who actually did an article talking about how bad it looked, or a video or something talking about how bad it looked. And of course, the progressives, the anti-war left, like the Jimmy Dores and Kyle Koleski types, have talked about how he was handling this badly and we should be out of the wars and stuff. And I'm consistent with that view as well. As a libertarian, I'm very anti-war too. So yeah, this is pretty much all around fuck up by Biden. And he hasn't responded. He said he would respond to it in the next few days. So maybe he even has to come out and discuss it. Though keep in mind, he's pretty much been MIA the last week or so. If they do take vacation or something like that, then we had that moment where he was kind of lost and confused, coming back from his trip, whatever. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is, and I'm not saying this to be mean. I've said before, I'm not going to say it to be mean or disrespectful because it's terrible that he's like this, but the guy is showing signs of dementia. He has no business being president of the United States. Forget his policy. Someone like that with those mental issues and concerns needs to be focused on their mental health and functioning to everyday life, not running the country. And apparently, I don't know if this part's true or not, but the press secretary, Jen Psaki, suppose is going to be off the line for the next week or something. So I don't know if that was some kind of joke or that's legit. But either way, yeah, it's not a good look for the Biden administration. Not at all. We're supposed to get out in May. Trump brokered a bill to get out in May, in which they can get all their personnel, all their equipment out in time, and the Afghan government can deal with the Taliban. But the Biden administration, of course, were sitting on that because they didn't want to give Trump a victory for Afghanistan. They didn't want to give Trump the credit for winning, for getting them out. So they want to give Trump a win for that. So they had to push it back till September 11th, just pretty much 20th anniversary kind of thing. And I remember, I think I talked about it, where I said that, well, the thing is, they're pushing it back, one for ceremonial purposes, for click, for PC, feel good stuff. 20 years even, we're out. 20 years, how about that? And we should have been there 10 years. We should have been there 5 years. We should have been out a long time ago. We should have been out. We should have probably never gone in there. Be honest with you, we should have been out many, many years ago. This war has been going on since I was in high school, and I'm in my late 30s. I mean, there's no need for this. This should have never happened. And we had a chance to get out, and guess what? We're back in now. And it's probably the way things are looking, we'll probably be back in again. Because, I mean, we already lost in regards to we went in with no real mission, no real plan, just went in and started taking over, the Bush administration did this, of course, citing 9/11 originally, and blaming Afghanistan, where it should have been like Iran or Iraq first and not Afghanistan. But that happened, and we're there, and we're trying to get out and salvage something. Now we can't even do that. The president's gone. Everything's gone. Look, Democrats, have you regretted voting for Biden yet? I mean, the ones who did vote for him. I know a lot of people didn't vote for him, the more progressive types, like I said at the beginning of the video. Didn't vote for him because he's pretty much like an establishment Democrat. He didn't represent what they wanted done in regards to criminal reform and getting out, his history as of neoliberal wars and the crime bill and things like that. So they didn't like him anyway, and a lot of people just kind of held him as a vote for him. Let's be honest here. Biden and Harris won not because they were good candidates, but because people didn't like Trump. And people were tired, the left, and the media, and people in the middle were kind of tired of Trump. They had the Lincoln Project, who, of course, was a anti-Trump Republican group, supposedly. And they were tired of him. So Trump lost because of, he wasn't liked by the right people, pretty much. That's why he lost, okay? It wasn't because Biden was great. I'm not saying Trump was perfect. Trump was by no means perfect. He has problems. He did a few good things. I like how he handled foreign policy and trying to get troops out. He lowered taxes. I wish he would lower them and the structure a little different, but I still think he tried to do some good things. But you have Biden and Democrats. I mean, Biden was chosen because of name recognition and the Obama nostalgia and things like that. But he's so much older now, and you could tell during the primaries and debates that his speakability to debate and stuff just wasn't as good as it used to be. His speaking ability has gone down. You see him back in the 90s, early 2000s, he was still pretty sharp and competent. Now it's just what's going on with him. And this is really bad. So I wonder how they're going to handle this now, how the media's going to try to spin it after things calm down a little bit in the news cycle. Because this is a big story right now. I mean, they could pivot back to COVID and DeSantis and the COVID case numbers, or they could go back to the economy and all that. But there's another thing about Biden as well. We're having massive inflation right now. Massive amounts of inflation. They're increasing all this spending, increasing our deficit spending. And to be fair, Republicans weren't good about doing this either. They kept increasing the deficit too. So both parties do this crap. But under the Biden administration, they're using COVID as the reason for it. They have increased spending so much drastically. And my idea is if you're going to increase the spending and deficit, okay, fine. No, it's not fine, but you know what I'm saying. It's not good. But if you're going to do it, then give it to the people like us who can use it and do something with it. A lot of this is port barrel spending is supposed to be going to state for stuff, but the states, if they're going, I doubt. Anytime you just print money for the government to get funding money constantly, what is their incentive to handle it properly, to spend it appropriately? What's their incentive for that? I don't know if they really have any. They're not held accountable to anyone. Who's going to keep them in check? I mean, we can vote them out, sure, but the other party will probably do similar shit. So what do? I mean, we have two parties that are corporatist and trash parties. That's pretty much what they are. And we don't have a good choice, really. But, God, Trump would have been a little better than this. I mean, despite the memes on Twitter, despite the pandering to the religious right and some of the rhetoric he says towards certain people, which I'm not necessarily fond of, I'll admit I don't like how he says things a lot of times. And I don't think Trump is this moralist, highbrow, clean person. I mean, he did business in New York. Come on. He probably worked the mafia, okay? So we know Trump's not a saint. And other people who voted for him know that. It's not like they're oblivious to the fact. They know that he has shortcomings, to say the least. But again, as president, he did some good things. And when I voted, like I said before, I held my nose and voted for Trump. I didn't necessarily like Trump. I don't really like Pence at all, but I held my nose because I knew this would be the bullshit begin with Biden and Harris. The spending, the inflation, and now terrible foreign policy and his declining health. It's going to be a matter of time for his 25th or he resigns. It's getting closer and closer. And we won't be any better off. We'll have Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, and she's used to the VP. Do we want her as president? Oh, my God. Kamala Harris has got like some very high unfavorability ratings for vice presidents. Really bad. I'm talking like Dan Quayle level, and Dan Quayle is considered a simpleton, okay? So, man, this is brutal. Rough weekend for the Biden administration, but I don't know if anyone cares. I'm a little video random guy ranting on YouTube. I don't really have any importance at all, but I will say this. If you are someone who voted for Biden, Democrat or otherwise, are you regretting your vote yet? I saw it trend on Twitter yesterday. I saw snapshots of people saying, I regret Biden, I regret Biden. Again, and this goes back to what I've always said as a libertarian-leaning, unaffiliated person. Voting for the lesser of two evils always leads to more evil. There's no accountability for anything. We need a real third-party option, even a fourth party. We need multiple-party options instead of this two-party bullshit, which you got two corrupt corporatist parties running things. And this is not good. So that's all I got for this one. Leave us in the comment section. That's all I got. As always, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.